we predicted the NFL or NHL season. Pick who's NHL. If you're watching this, I don't know if it's Batman, Daily, whoever. Pick whose script you like.
Whose script is better?
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another bonus BTR podcast.
Before we get started, please like, comment, and subscribe, and please help us get to 200 subscribers. We're getting closer and closer, so let's try to get it done by this month, I guess.
Yeah, appreciate the recent support on all sports videos, but this is, like we mentioned to you on yesterday's podcast, this is part 2, which is why we able to bonus. Similar to the MLB vibe, this is
and NFL. When that season started as well. It's more on the NFL side because MLB was playoffs.
Yeah, but the bonus episode is like the MLB vibe.
Yeah.
This is strictly all NHL. You won't hear us say another sport, right? For that, you just check out yesterday's podcast, which is already out. We covered all of NFL Week 5, MLB playoffs, soccer, etc. Today, strictly NHL. We're previewing the season, similar to how Jovan said how's the NHL one or NFL one. Sorry,
those are
we have our scripts right here.
Our predictions,
our prediction video, whatever. That being said, check out our tier list as well. We dropped that on Sunday. That one is strictly what we believe how a team is ranked. This one we have predictions. It could be bold. So just because we put a team in A tier doesn't mean they might have made our playoffs, for example. Right, like that's an example. Like, this is our predictions. This is not how we believe a team is ranked
right now. That was like
this is like
current standings. You know how they're
easier
doing.
terms. Tier list, beginning of the season. Today's video, end of season. Essentially, that's all that is. Also, just follow our Instagram. We'll be dropping our NHL power rankings in general to begin the season as well. TikTok and YouTube Shorts. With that being said, without further ado, let's get right into it. Before we predict our standings, we all have some breaking news that dropped.
Three extensions
for 2 teams. So the first one, let's just get this one caught me by a little bit of surprise, because of the amount. Rasmus Dahlin, who started his career off a little rough, was consensus number 1 overall pick. Only signed a bridge deal, I think $6 million a year, 3x6, I believe. And, other defensemen, especially with Quinn Hughes in that class, were coming out to be the best. If you were to do a redraft, they arguably were number 1 ahead of him. However, he had a resurgent year last year and was getting better the year before that as well. Signed an 8-year extension worth $88 million total, so 8x11. Which makes him the second highest, tied with Drew Doughty at 11, and Erik Karlsson is still number 1 at $11.5 million. Your initial reaction first?
I'm not surprised he got extended. I'm surprised it's $11 million. I thought it would be around 9.5 AAV,
which is what I think Makar got.
Yeah, but good business, I guess, for him.
For him, yeah, because the thing with Buffalo is they usually bank early.
They do that.
Right, Tage Thompson.
He's already locked up.
And it's cheap. Like 7x7 for Tage Thompson is insane. And everyone else, like, I'm sure they'll probably do the same thing with Owen Power if he takes off, and whoever else is on that roster. But yeah, no, I'm surprised by the $11 million. I'm not saying he's not worth it, but when you look at Cale Makar making 9, Heiskanen making 8, and I think Hughes is making 7.
Yeah,
I think all those 3 still are Makar for sure. The other 2 are still arguably better than him. But Buffalo, good business. This is what happens when you save cap space by signing some players early.
And
if you wanted it, and cap is going up.
Yeah,
and it's projected to go up a little more this year compared to last year's $1 million. But yeah, congratulations, Dahlin. You don't have to worry about it. So you could still go out, and you guys will find out if we have him in our Norris rankings this year. Other one, this is also a little bit of a surprise, but Winnipeg done a matching deal. This is kind of a vibe of when, remember when Minnesota signed Parise and Suter? Now the difference is this is a re-signing. That was new team signings.
Was that like 12 years?
It was like a 12-year, it was exact contracts too, right?
Yeah.
So in this case, the 2 biggest question marks for the Jets were Mark Scheifele and Connor Hellebuck. And it was rumored that they don't want to come back because it's Winnipeg and everybody shit talks Winnipeg, the city, or the city.
Yeah.
So they might have to give like a bonus or whatever the case may be. But they both re-signed at 7 years, $8.5 million per year value. Both. Winnipeg is it's a little surprising, because we don't know what Winnipeg is. Winnipeg still reminds me of the Canucks, reminds you of the Islanders, stuff like that. Like, is Scheifele a best player to win it all?
I don't know about. He always gets injured, so he doesn't. We haven't even seen it. I guess
you don't have Dubois anymore. You replace them with third line players, good players, but again, third line players. Hellebuck, I think he's a Vezina candidate this year.
He needs to be.
He needs to be for sure. And then on top of that, is Morrissey gonna be Josh Norrisy?
Yeah.
Again.
You got your top 2 players, maybe top 3 if you throw in Kyle Connor or Norrisy in there. Morrissey, not Norrisy.
Last year was Norrisy. This year it's back to Morrissey.
I mean, the biggest issue with them is those guys get injured a lot, right? Morrissey got injured in the playoffs. Scheifele got injured in the playoffs. Hellebuck wasn't his best last year himself. And a lot of rumors were like, before all these Devils extensions, that Hellebuck's going to New Jersey.
Hellebuck is 4th in extension. In contract. Carey Price is still number 1. Technically, he's on the roster.
Yeah.
At 10.5. Bobrovsky, 10. And Vasilevsky still at 9.5. But I guess the headache's over. You don't have to worry about.
That could help then. Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't have to worry about that. They're all locked up. Now, granted, if they had another bad year, trade requests could still be happening, right? I don't know if there's a no trade clause or not. I haven't looked that much into it. But on the flip side, very quickly, there's some news that came out with the Canucks that maybe, because Pettersson already know what happened with him, that he's saying he's going to wait. And the Canucks are saying, you know what, we're willing to wait too. So that, on the flip side, could, ruin the Canucks because the headache going on.
Don't wait.
Don't wait is the thing, but both of them apparently want to wait. So I'm a fan of getting it done early because of the distractions. And in this case, they did. So, and that's where Calgary's also has big question marks as well. But those are the extensions. I don't think there's anything new. If anything breaks during this, because NHL season does start today. Literally today. We're recording on a Monday, but on Thanksgiving. Happy Canadian Thanksgiving to everybody, by the way.
Yeah. 2:30 is the first game.
Huh?
2:30 is
PST?
first game. Yeah.
The hell?
It's like Lightning versus I forgot who.
Is it in the country here? Or is it in the continent?
So there's 3 games. They spread it out. It was like
2:30, 5, and 7:30.
Who's it? Lightning versus who?
Predators.
Lightning Predators. Then it's
Blackhawks, Penguins.
Crosby versus Bedard.
Yeah, and then it's defending Cup champs makes sense against the Kraken. But
that'll be a fun one to watch.
That'll be a fun one as well. But yeah, season starts underway, so all the rosters should be announced, at least opening rosters.
Yeah.
And those are the extensions. We'll see if anything else breaks. Hopefully, we do have some live breaking news for once. Right. That's big. That being said, let's get into it. So, like I said, we're going to be talking about every team. Some teams will be talked about for like 30 seconds. Some teams will be talked about hopefully just a minute to 2 minutes max, so we don't drag this video out.
Yeah.
We're going to probably we're going to go worst division to best division, in our opinion, as well. So that way it's enticing a little bit.
So basically, it's the same thing. We're going to go our division rankings 1 to 8. Right?
8 to 1. We'll go
or 8 to 1, yeah. And then we're going to say, obviously, who our 1 seed is for the conference. And who our wildcard teams is per conference. And then after that, Stanley Cup Final prediction with a winner. And Smite. Then after that, it'll be all the awards. Our top
awards,
3.
Number 1 overall pick favorite, coaches getting fired, any other bold predictions we may have that we did not list during the standings. Because that's like, you could tell about bold predictions when we do our standings as well.
Yeah.
But any like player bold predictions you may have.
So we're going division ranking first?
Let's go division ranking first. Talk about each team slightly.
We'll start off with the Central then, I guess.
Do you think that's the worst, or do you think the Metro is the worst?
They're both
I think the Metro is worse.
Fine, we'll go with Metro first.
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll go with Metro then.
Okay, number 8. I think it's pretty. I was struggling with 5, 6, and 7, but number 8 was easy. I think it's the Philadelphia Flyers.
Agree with you.
Straight up rebuilding, which is good on them. Like, this is the best case scenario for them. But unfortunately, that means you guys will suck for the year. But for
high draft pick,
chances at Macklin Celebrini most likely. And there's nothing else to it. They're just rebuilding, which is good for them.
And on top of that, they're my worst team in the conference as well.
Okay, I didn't go that far. But I agree.
I just thought of that right now.
Yeah, same here. Because I fought for Montreal to not be.
Flyers are number 8 for me as well.
Okay, so number 7. This is where I got a little tough. I wanted to get a little bold, but I don't know if I should. Number 7, even though I said they when healthy, they're a good team, is the Columbus Blue Jackets for me. That's where I have them. I think, yes, they will be better for sure. I think it'll be tough. I think the 4 to 7 range, I could still see them fighting for a wild card spot.
Yeah.
Up until near the end, maybe till March, and then it might fall off. Again, by the way, this is everyone's healthy except, for example, Vasilevsky. We know he's out at the beginning of the year. Ilya Mikheyev is out for the beginning of the year, so we're not going to take those into account.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, Mikheyev's a different story than Vasilevsky and Kiers. Sure. But yeah,
my number 7. I agree with you. I think 5, 6, 7, 4 to 7. They're all the teams, but these two teams, at my 6 and 7, I believe, will be fighting, but they'll fall off a little bit earlier, like in March. Whereas my 4 and 5 will still fight till the end.
So who's the 7?
My 7 is the Washington Capitals.
Okay, so that's my 6. So you go and talk.
They're just getting older, right? Their main focus is, everyone knows, try to get Ovechkin as many goals as he possibly can to try to catch Gretzky, and so if that's your focus, Cup is not really your focus. Playoffs are not really your focus.
The reason why I have them 6 is I agree with everything you said, but when you mess around and try to get Ovechkin goals, you can still win games.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the thing, right?
I like the moves that...
you know what, to be honest with you, I scratched it. Like you can see here, I scratched it. I swapped the two.
Yeah.
So, but I think they're neck and neck.
They're neck and neck.
Again, we're assuming health, right?
But I do believe that Blue Jackets made some decent moves in the offseason.
Yeah.
That will help them get a little bit better. And they're my 6th seed. And obviously your 6th seed is the Capitals. We already talked about those teams.
Yeah, number 5.
So moving on to number 5, I got the New York Islanders.
Same.
I think Penguins are an improved team, so I think Penguins are ahead of them. That's one reason. Number 2, Islanders didn't do much to get better themselves.
You know what? I had Islanders almost going to 7, but then I'm like, Ilya Sorokin's on that team.
Ilya Sorokin is everyone knows the Vezina
and
favorite.
Anything with hockey, and we experienced this as Canucks fans. We have a hot goalie. Like last year, for example, Demko comes back healthy, and it ruined our chances for Bedard, right? So,
but like respect to the some of the players. All right, Matthew Barzal is still there.
Big question mark.
He's a good player.
We know the biggest question mark. It's the former Canuck.
As Bo Horvat. Is he going to repeat last year?
Or at least come close to it. Yeah. Right? So, yeah.
They have just a bunch of vets, but like...
Bad contracts.
They're bad contracts, and it's the same team over and over again now, right? Like, they haven't really... Like, remember when in the bubble where they made the conference finals?
Yeah, the 2 years.
It's still the same team, but they're older, so... But as you get older, you're going to get worse.
Yeah, like, and it's not like they replenished younger, right? Yeah. Bo Horvat comes in at 29 years old and you give him an 8-year extension, so... They're definitely like for example, in our tier list, they're a mid team.
They're a mid team, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said there. Number 4, we went different for sure.
You went different?
Yeah.
So you went with the Rangers, I'm sorry.
I went 4. Rangers.
Okay. I do believe the Rangers are a better team.
I believe they're a better team. Yeah. I do believe that.
But you believe a choke job's happening.
Yes.
So just make a comment about the Rangers first, then I'll talk about the Penguins
after. So, let's just connect them together.
Yeah.
Number 4, I have the Rangers, and it's just I wanted to go a little bold, right? A little bit bold. My predictions are, yes, I use logic as much as I can, but I also go by vibe.
Yeah.
Right? You have to go with some vibes at the end of the day.
No, doesn't matter, yo. Like, if you don't know hockey at all,
yeah,
you could still beat someone who freaking senior writer, NHL senior writers, all in ESPN or Sportsnet, all these guys. You could still have better predictions than them.
Yeah.
Like March Madness, right?
Yeah, exactly. And the reason why I have the Rangers 4 is because I genuinely believe Penguins have a chip on their shoulder from last year, the way it ended. And you gave them the best offensive defenseman from last year. Keyword last year. I'm a huge fan of Erik Karlsson. Yes, I did not believe he should have won the Norris, but that helps with that team. A puck breakout guy who could assist from the back end. I'm hoping you have a healthy, because Letang had some scares with his health last year. And listen, Crosby's probably motivated as hell right now. Yeah. Right? They wanted to go out and get these moves done. They did it. Big question mark for me is Jari, but the Rangers are 4. There's nothing against them. I just believe that, they might choke a little bit, and they might... The playoff from last year might haunt them a little bit this year.
For me, the main reason I'm putting the Rangers ahead of the Penguins is, one, I do believe that the top 3 teams in this division is better than everyone else. Like, they're my top 3. Like, they were my locks, top 3 coming into when I was thinking about it. You have a lot of old guys, and that comes with injuries.
I know that for sure.
I think you'll still be doing enough to get past those injuries by coming a 4th seed, but that's why I can't put you in the top 3.
I think division. That I know. Like, I agree with you. The Rangers are our top 3 team, but I wouldn't be surprised if Penguins surpass them, strictly because of motivation. Adding Erik Karlsson helps, and then I think for me, the top 2 are locks. I think I'm the fence with the Rangers, but again, I won't be surprised if they come third. Simple as that. There's nothing.
Yeah, Rangers are my number 3 team.
we've said.
I've said that.
Yeah.
Yours is Pittsburgh Penguins, right?
Yes. So
and
pretty
for
much
me, the Rangers, they just have a core that's here to stay. They've been doing it the last couple of years. Continuity is a factor. They still have their main guys there.
So do the Penguins. Technically,
but
they're older.
They're older. That's my thing. All right, number 2.
Who'd you go?
The New Jersey Devils.
Same. Okay. Yeah, I just think Carolina's continuity at number 1 will stick them in the regular season at number 1. But at number 2, I went with the Devils. At this time, I think they'll handily be second. You add Tyler Toffoli to that team. You're rigging up Luke Hughes. Let's see how he does, if he's going to be anything like both his brothers, especially Quinn being a defenseman. And the question mark, we know it's goalie. What's his name of the guy?
Vanacek.
No, the other one.
Kira Schmid.
Yeah, if he's the guy or if Vanacek's the guy, can both of, especially with Kira Schmid, carry what he did in the playoffs. They got the experience in the playoffs as well. And yeah, I think they're a much better team than the rest of them, except Carolina. But I think they'll be neck and neck fighting for 1 and 2.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Reason why I edged out Canes at number 1, Canes are just a really good regular season team.
Exactly.
They're just always leading these last few years. And I feel like they'll find a way to do that again, especially when you add in Dmitry Orlov as well. And we'll see. Hopefully they're healthy. That's the factor,
yeah. So
hopefully they're healthy as well.
Yeah, so Carolina, they're very, like you said, we don't have to reiterate too much. So yeah, so 1 through 8 for me, Carolina 1, Devils 2, Penguins 3, Rangers 4, Islanders 5, Capitals 6, Blue Jackets 7, and the Flyers are 8.
For me, it's Canes 1, Devils 2, Rangers 3, Pens 4, Islanders 5, Blue Jackets 6, Capitals 7, Flyers 8.
You hate the old guys, don't you? Because you edged out the other team because of the Penguins, and then you edged the other team because of the Capitals are old.
Well, Rangers is just clear.
I know.
Capitals one you could argue, but Rangers for me is clear.
Okay, you want to go down to the Central? Or do you want to complete the?
Let's go conference by conference.
Conference. Okay, so then we'll name our playoff teams after this, as well. Number.
This is our best division, by the way.
This is the best division in all of the NHL.
This is the best division.
I think 1 through 7, everyone has a case of somehow making a playoff push. But that being said, 100%. Number 8, I'm sorry, Montreal Canadiens. As much as I think you're not an F tier team, but you're still in that division, you ain't touching anyone.
Yeah, there's no chance for you.
You're still kind of rebuilding. Your hope is like Slavkovsky takes a step. You kind of hope everybody else takes a step. And yeah, I think they're just number 8.
They're number 8. They're clearly the worst team at it.
I don't think they're fighting for the number 1 overall spot. I think they're still better than that.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. The Flyers are the worst in that conference. They're the second, probably the second or third worst.
Yeah. No, this division is too tough for you to make noise.
Yeah. And right now.
Right now. You still are a couple years away for sure. Number 7, I went with the Detroit Red Wings.
Same.
I just feel like the Senators and Sabres and the Red Wings were like my 3 last year. Like there were 3 that could make a push. And I do believe the Red Wings are still the worst out of those 3.
I still believe so as well. No, nothing more to it.
I think DeBrincat
question mark signings. I think DeBrincat will help them out a lot more. Yeah. But again, the division's so tough. Like this team could arguably be the 4th or 5th team. Maybe not 4th, but 5th team in the other division. Like Detroit.
100%.
In the Metro division, right?
Yeah.
In this case, they have to be 7th, unfortunately. But again, it's, I said 1 through 7 will fight their way to like at least February, March, even April.
Yeah, 100%. That these are for all these teams here.
Question for there is, you made veteran signings. Can they step up? And let's see how Mo Sider does. Can Lucas Raymond bounce back?
Yeah,
that's the quick question.
All right, who's your 6?
I went bold. I went bold.
I know.
Did you go bold?
I didn't go bold.
I went the Boston Bruins.
Okay, we'll talk about that. My number 6 is the Senators. You start off with the Bruins.
Nothing. I think your 2 pieces you lost were massive, and you have not replaced them. You cannot get Scheifele anymore, as we mentioned. You could still try to go get Elias Lindholm, then you'll jump up to even higher than normal. Now, yes, they're the Boston Bruins. I counted them out slightly last year, but at least last year, I thought there would still be like a playoff wild card or 3rd seed team. This one, yes, I still think they're a wild card team. I just think, I don't know how much is their goaltending going to carry. Is it Swayman? Is it Allmark? They lost Dmitry Orlov. They still have Hampus Lindholm. I get it. But you lost literally the guy who might get a name day award after him in Patrice Bergeron.
Yeah.
And who was still doing it, by the way, at that caliber, sorry. And that's a massive loss. Now, a lot of pressures on David Pastrnak. I get that. A lot of pressures on Brad Marchand. You bring back Milan Lucic, great, but he's not Milan Lucic from when he won the cup with you guys. So, I'm going bold. I know it's bold for sure, but I'm saying they're gonna miss the playoffs, and they're at number 6 for me.
Number 6, I have the Ottawa Senators. I feel like they need one more year. I do believe the Bruins are still good enough to be ahead of them. I do believe the Sabres are better than them. I feel like they're definitely going to be better than last year. I don't think they have many question marks. They kind of added to their defense when you had Chicherin in the deadline, and you signed a goalie in Korpisalo.
There's very big question marks with Josh Norris at the moment of his health as well.
Yeah.
They're contemplating LTIR, IR, whatever the case may be from what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Shout out Alex Adams, Ottawa Senators beat writer now as well, along with Canada Basketball, looking at his tweets and stuff, and what's pretty much he's my update for Ottawa, at this point. So from what I'm seeing, there's a question marks with Josh Norris and Shane Pinto.
Yeah, Shane Pinto was for contract, right?
Contract reasons. But yeah, that's why I have them at 5 still.
I feel like this core needs one more year to just need a year to play together, and then we're next year they can make the push.
For you, they missed the playoffs clearly, but technically they're in contention for me still.
Yeah.
But that being said, for me, so Ottawa's my 5. We don't have to go for it.
And then Bruins are my 5.
So we don't have to go too much for it.
Yeah.
We agree with what we said, but number 4, which is why I have Buffalo.
Same.
At 4 because
Buffalo Sabres.
You figured out Darlene's contract. You have a young goalie, Devin Levi. I heard from Greg Ballack from Halford and Bruff, producer, saying he was arguably, I think, the best goalie from college. He's making NHL debut. If he kills it, they could even make noise at the top 3. But for right now, Tage Thompson, can he have a same caliber year he did last year? Owen Power take a next step. Can Rasmus Dahlin, is it really money for you, or is it?
Yeah,
are you gonna back it up?
Contract. It is a fat contract.
And we always see players kind of drop down when they get a fat contract. I'm not saying that's his mentality or anything like that, but you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I have him 4 for that reason. Let me just you talk for a second about them. I want to double check their roster.
I was doing that
right now. Are you bringing it up?
Zach Benson made it, right?
Zach Benson. Shout out local boy. I know many Canucks fans wanted to draft him over Willander, but that's a different story for a different day.
Yeah, for me, it's Tage Thompson. Can you be that guy again, right?
Yeah. Because
you're clearly the best forward on this team. And you got some good pieces around him. Dylan Cousins, Alex Tuck.
Peyton Krebs.
Peyton Krebs as well, who's a young guy himself. And for me, it's Tage Thompson. And I feel like defensively, you're fine.
Yeah.
And then Devon Levi. Or is it Devin Levi?
Devin Levi.
Yeah. Devin Levi, if he could, come in and make an instant impact, these guys are set. The Sabres are set.
Yeah, so they're my 4. Top 3 might be different for both of us. Who knows though? Number 3 for me is Tampa Bay Lightning.
Same.
Oh my god. Okay. One simple. Vasilevsky's out for the first 2 years. Sorry, 2 months. 2 months. 2 months. But to Jovin's point, they're much older as well. They lost a couple of pieces. But I still think John Cooper's probably the best coach in the NHL, arguably up there still, and he'll find a way.
Yeah. For me, I was arguing for them. Reason being is I feel like they're still a good enough team to play through the Vasilevsky injury that will keep them afloat. And then once Vasilevsky gets a couple weeks under his belt, right?
Yeah.
Then once he's warmed up again, and from that point on, they'll make this big run that will lock him in at the 3rd seed.
Do you remember one of their ads?
Who was it?
Oh, I'm disappointed in you.
Yeah, I remember.
No, I gotta take your Tyler card away, man.
No. You can't take my card away.
Because you don't know
my fandom.
Well, right? Clearly you don't know he's on that team anymore.
Bro.
Who was on that team? This is the second time, not the first time.
You relax, right? You didn't let me finish. It's Tyler Mott. That's the reason why I put him at 3.
Okay, yeah. That was so the reason you remembered. But no, they still have a decent what's the soccer style backline. Top 6 in defense. Calvin DeHaan is there now. But Victor Hedman, Mikhail Sergachev, right? Chernak,
yeah.
And then on top of that, you have Sorelli. You got
who's their goalie?
Right, I think Jonas Johansson is the guy who's starting for them. Based on that's the expected that it says right here.
Okay.
For opening face-off.
But yeah, no, like I said, they'll keep afloat with the injury, and then once Vasilevsky comes back and warms up, they'll go on this massive run. but they'll be too far away from 1 and 2 for me. That
But
they will
again,
lock in.
they don't
They will
care.
lock in.
They don't really care.
Yeah, but they will lock in the 3 seeds.
Listen,
so that's
the last couple of years,
that's my projection for them, and that's why I believe they're 3 seeds.
the last couple of years, they've been like 2-3 seeds that they're waiting for the playoffs. And on last year, they performed well in the playoffs and they lost. Whereas the year before, they kind of
just blew the leads in the games.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Who'd you go?
I feel like it's the same.
Okay.
Florida Panthers.
Yeah. Okay. No. We're not even twins. We have like that type of.
Yeah.
Florida Panthers. Yeah, I think they're not gonna be like last year for sure. If they are, just disappointing, right? Whereas their Florida counterparts in like down in Miami Heat, they lost pieces. These guys didn't.
They're still the same team.
They're still relatively the same team. Quite big question mark. We all know what it is. Bobrovsky.
It's goaltending. Yeah.
And but I believe that Matthew Tkachuk will be the same. And he's healthy now. I believe Aaron Ekblad will be a top tier defenseman. I also believe Barkov is in contention for the Selke.
Yeah, 100%. Everything you said, I agree with, and I feel like they'll have a good, strong regular season.
But the Kings of number 1 are the Kings of regular season, so that's why I gave them number 1. Toronto Maple Leafs. But
they haven't won a division in a while.
This is strictly obviously a regular season thing.
Did they ever win when they did
this realignment?
Yeah,
I don't remember. But either way, I think this is the year.
This is the first time in a while.
Matthews is gonna have a vengeance year, I believe. Defensively, big question marks. Offensively, they added Grit, Ryan Reeves, Tyler Bertuzzi, and the son of Ty Domi, Max Domi. Those two especially could still produce offensively, I believe.
Yeah, Bertuzzi and Domi.
Question marks again are coming back end, goalie and defensively, right? Yeah. Offensively, they're fine, but defensively is a question mark. But I think they'll be fine in the regular season. Those question marks will happen in the playoffs, which if they do make it and do win the division, we'll talk about it in April.
Yeah, I feel like out of these guys, they're like the most healthiest. They had some decent additions, and they are the best regular season performing team from this Atlantic Division, because the Bruins have definitely gotten worse.
Yeah. Okay, so overall, that's all the teams. 1, Toronto. 2, Florida. 3, Tampa. 4, Buffalo. 5, Ottawa. 6, Boston. Get ready for the Boston hate for me. 7, Detroit. 8, Montreal for me.
For me, it's the Maple Leafs, Panthers, Lightning, Sabres at 4, Bruins at 5, Senators at 6, Red Wings at 7, Canadians at 8.
So here's my playoff seeding. Overall, we already know the 2-3 matchup: Devils, Pens, and then Florida, Tampa.
Yeah.
Right. So the big question mark is who's the 1-2, and then who's the wild card 1-2. And for me, the wild card contentions were Rangers, Islanders, Sabres, Senators on paper. Ultimately, I went wild card 1 is the New York Rangers. Wild card 2, I went with the Buffalo Sabres, which means Ottawa just missed out for me. Don't care about the Islanders. And then number 1 seed overall, Carolina. Number 2 overall was Toronto.
My number 1 overall is Carolina as well. And they will be facing my number 2 wildcard team, which will be the Pittsburgh Penguins.
So for me, it was Buffalo.
And my number 1 wildcard seed is going to be the Buffalo Sabres. And then versing Montreal in the first... Toronto in the first round.
Yeah. So that's the Eastern Conference. If we have any bold predictions, we'll come back to it. But obviously, I went bold on both sides with the Rangers slightly, but big time with Boston. Moving on to the West. Let's get to the weaker side there. This time, it's actually the Central. The Pacific have taken the jump.
Yeah, they did.
For sure. Overall, Pacific have the second best division in the NHL, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But number 1... let's go
8.
Let's go to number 8, Central. Chicago.
Yeah, Bedard, you're good, but you're not gonna be enough.
No one's gonna care. But again, just because you're number 8, you guys are probably happy because you guys might have a chance at Macklin Celebrini.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, 2 BC boys in Chicago.
Imagine.
But
that'd be pain.
But yeah, Chicago. I don't think they will be like percentage favorites. I still think some of the other teams will be. But Connor Bedard show, just watch it. It's like us in Indy Colts, or Anthony Richardson show. It's the same thing here.
Yeah.
It's
hey, you might be ahead of schedule.
Who knows? Yeah,
yeah, you might be, but I don't think you are.
But the question is, can Bedard do what McDavid/Matthews did?
Yeah.
But I don't think he has a team around him. Taylor Hall is a great great vet, and a great line mate to help him develop. So, you guys are number 8. Number 7, I went with. It was tough between 6 and 7. I went Arizona.
I went Arizona as well.
I was debating 6 in my head. I really was, but I'll name my 6 in a second. But no, Arizona, I think they're a better team. They added pieces that will help them. Logan Cooley show over there, but you still have Dylan Gunther. You still have Clayton Keller. You added Matt Dumba, Sean Durza. So honestly, even on paper, they could jump up to 5th in this. That's how close 5, 6, and 7 were for me. But I'm giving the edge because there's so many distractions there, and you're playing in Mullet Arena that I have to give you 7. Yeah. By Mullet Arena, you're playing in a college 3,000 cap stadium or arena.
I still do believe 5 and 6 are better teams.
Yeah,
on the paper as well right now, and my number 6 team is the Nashville Predators.
Okay, same. I did put Nashville at 7, but I'm like I can't disrespect Yossi and Soros like that.
Yeah, as long as Yossi, Soros, Philip Forsberg are all healthy, they have a chance. Obviously, they added in Ryan O'Reilly as well.
Luke Shen,
good player. Luke Shen's a good player himself, and we'll see what they could do. But I don't think it's enough for a playoff push, in my opinion. I think they'll be like the.
Do you think
they'll be like the Senators for me, where they're like they're fighting, and they fall off near the end.
Do you think they'll be do what they did last year, where they sold and kind of went like all the way?
But I feel like it's the opposite. They're gonna be in it, but then they're gonna sell.
Yeah.
And same with my number 5 team, they're gonna be in it and they're gonna sell, which is the St. Louis Blues.
Yeah, I think I expect a jump. I genuinely do. Their coach is what I'm hearing. Craig Berube is on the hot seat easily. He's like the betting favorite if there is a bet for this. But any outlet I look at, sports outlet, media outlet, is that he's the odds-on favorite to get fired first. In season, out of season, doesn't matter. So you have Jordan Kyrou, you have Robert Thomas, you have Torrey Krug and stuff like that. And I get it. These, especially Torrey Krug.
Goalie's a question mark.
Yeah, goalie's a question mark. But you added Kevin Hayes.
You added Kevin Hayes. Yeah.
So Jordan Bennington, are you gonna be a little rat, I guess, and start beating up people and make that your name, or are you gonna actually play like you did in the 2019 playoffs? Right, because the reason why you got the 5x5 contract was because of that playoff rush, and everybody assumed you were you're gonna be Canada's future goalie. Right now, nobody. Joven's debate of most hated Canadian might be Jordan Bennington with Chase Claypool.
Yeah, it probably is.
But
Dylan Brooks is there. Those are my top 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like everyone, like I was like, all right, Canada's set a goalie now.
Yeah.
Right, Carey Price is old. It's Bennington's team now. I could even throw in Carter Hart there, but they both fell off after their first year, basically. And
Carter Hart at least made a kind of a resurgence. Yeah. Whereas Bennington is like meh.
But well, Bennington also has a cup, so how much does he really give a shit now?
You got a captain, Braden Shen.
Yeah, Braden Shen there.
But yeah, let's see if they get a culture setter. But yeah, that's one of the coaches that we have on the top of our head.
I just feel like this Central is just so easy for me to rank. The top 3 is clear for me.
I went bold.
You went bold?
I went bold.
I don't know how bold you're gonna go, but my number 4 team is probably a lot of people's number 4 team, especially when they figure out these contracts that we talked about in the beginning, is the Winnipeg Jets.
I went bold.
And I'll just go right now quickly.
Yeah.
Winnipeg Jets, you're still a good team. Like, you're in the mid range basically. And I do believe you're still better than the Blues and the Preds. Scheifele's still a good player. Heilebuck is still good. Inconsistent, but he's still good. Kyle Connor, Josh Morrissey, you added in some good depth in the forward spots. So I do believe you're still the 4th best team in that division.
Again, similar vibe to my Pens Rangers. I went Minnesota Wild.
Okay, yeah, it's not that.
Like I didn't go like I similar bold to that.
When you said like I went bold, I thought you put like I don't think you put the stars there. I was like, okay,
no, I went bold with that. It was still bold, right? Like, listen, for me personally, this is my personal opinion. Arizona, Nashville, St. Louis could arguably be a 4th seed and maybe even a 3rd seed, but I give credit to to Minnesota and Winnipeg, just because they are, like you said, more experienced. I think they're the more better talent on the teams. But like I said, I won't be surprised if any of the other 3 teams. It was tough for me to rank it, but I went Minnesota. They always do this in a way that where we believe in them, they let us down. I'm like, you know what? Let me just do this. I think Minnesota.
Let's just not believe in them from the beginning.
Yeah, exactly. Winnipeg, you'll see with one of the reasons why I have them up there when we go to the awards, but I believe Hellebuck will be the bounce back. I believe Scheifele will play better. Again, health is a question mark. I get it. Maybe they could be the Seattle Kraken.
Yeah, maybe.
With the Iafallo and who's the other guy again? Iafallo and
Gabe Lardy. For me, I'm just gonna say right now, like my 8 seed was clear. It was clearly Blackhawks for me.
Yeah.
5, 6, and 7 could be interchangeable. 3 and 4 could be interchangeable.
Okay.
Which is the Wild and Jets. My number 3 team is the Wild. I still do believe that they have enough. Kirill Kaprizov could carry. They have a good goalie tandem, Fleury and Gustafsson, and Joel Eriksson Ek was also injured in the playoffs, so he's gonna be back healthy from the beginning, hopefully. And basically, I do believe the Wild have enough star power to be ahead of the Jets, in my opinion. Because between the Jets and the Wild, Kirill Kaprizov is the best player from both teams.
Yeah, no, I agree with that for sure. But I want to go a little bit bold. Vibe check. As always. Vibes.
I mean, predictions, man, nobody's ever getting right?
Yeah.
Like, it's just all luck at the end of the day.
Listen, I'm taking all the credit. If I get it right, I'm going to talk shit. But if I get it wrong, it's just a prediction. I'll blame some type of injury.
Yeah, so your 3 team is obviously, you mentioned the Jets.
Yeah.
So who's your number 2?
I went Colorado.
I went with Dallas Stars.
I think, let's just talk both of them together. I just went with Colorado because I feel like they might start off slow a little bit. I think Dallas is slightly the better team, and again, it will reflect in my words why. But I think that Dallas is here to win the division. I think Colorado, I'm not saying they're going to take the season lightly. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying that they will. I think Dallas is more in the motivated team.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that they might go guns blazing from the start.
This right here is like a battle 1 and 2 from like beginning to end for me. I don't think anyone's gonna run away with it. It might be a 1-point Colorado win for me.
Yeah.
As well. Dallas, I do believe they have a good core and everything, and they have a chance to take this next step. Whereas Colorado, I do believe that Landeskog is injured, but I do believe that they can do enough, right? As long as, because I think Makar got hurt last year as well, right?
Yeah.
So as long as like Makar and McKinnon are still there, and Rantanen as well, and I project Rantanen to have a good year because I picked him in fantasy, and I just do believe they'll edge it out a little bit. Like, it'll be a good battle. This race will be a good race.
Their biggest question, this has to be the year as well, because Devon Toews is a free agent.
Yeah.
Eventually, Bowen Byram will be up. But yeah, I just went, again, vibe check. I think Dallas, this might be the year like Colorado makes the Tampa approach and not win the division. But Dallas will be the team that wins the division itself. So, that being said, and I believe in, right now, Dallas's core is insane, like you mentioned.
It is good, yeah.
So, Dallas 1, Colorado 2, Winnipeg 3, Minnesota 4, St. Louis 5, Nashville 6, Arizona 7, Chicago 8.
Mine is 1 Avs, 2 Stars, 3 Wild, 4 Jets, 5 Blues, 6 Preds, 7 Coyotes, 8 Blackhawks.
Yeah, we pretty much solved 1, 2, and 3, 4.
Yeah.
Like 1 and 2 with each other and 3 and 4 with each other.
Yeah.
All right, that's just the one that probably we're most interested in, because this is a team we're watching the most. Clearly, we're wearing their shirts. The Pacific Division. Let's just get right into it.
Starting off with 8 and 7 is pretty obvious for us.
San Jose 8, Anaheim 7.
Yeah, exactly the same.
I'll give you guys 30 seconds ish. But San Jose, they're Macklin and Celebrini favorites, hands down.
They're my worst team in the division.
Yeah,
I mean the conference.
Yeah, I think they might be the worst team in the NHL, personally.
Yeah.
I don't know that, like,
them and Flyers. I don't know who to argue.
Yeah, but they had so many bad contracts that they got rid of. They have to still get rid of as well.
Their focus this year is to develop their youth.
Whatever youth they have,
just focus on developing them,
and then try to accumulate picks on. They're that what Chicago did. Be that town of getting rid of bad contracts, like and Arizona did.
Yeah.
Get a second or a first or third, whatever, and get a cap dump there. But
the
problem with them is tough because they still have Vlasic,
Hurdle
as well, right? So there's that. 7 Anaheim, you're gonna be a fun team, right?
Yeah.
This is not if we were to do a tier list of fun teams, for sure a lot of this will change. But Mason McTavish, Trevor Zegras, Troy Terry, JV Drysdale.
You have a good youth. You have a good core building up there.
Yeah.
Now the thing is that they just got to play together.
And Leo Carlson.
Yeah, they just got to play together for a little bit. And it will take them
it will
take them a year or two just to become take those steps like how the Devils did this year.
Listen, I will be slightly surprised, but I won't be as if they take a LA Kings jump this year. Not saying that they'll go into top
Devils
4,
jump.
But at least the talent they could still be the 7th seed, but not be close. They'll be more closer to the 6th and 5th seed than they are close to San Jose.
Yeah.
In that sense.
Number 6.
I went with the Seattle Kraken.
Okay.
I think they will drop off this year slightly. But again, it's a tough division.
Yeah.
Like these six could be
These six are,
1 and 2 could be interchangeable, and 3, 4, 5, 6 could be interchangeable, right?
Yeah, I agree with that.
I just went with Seattle. I think not having the guy could now affect them this year. And that's it. Like I just again, this is not me hating on Seattle. No one expected what they did last year. I'm still giving them a little bit of respect. I think every one of these teams are within reach, 3 to 6. Yeah. So I just went with Seattle.
I went with the Calgary Flames. Obviously, I expect a lot of bounce backs from a lot of players, but I just don't think it's enough. And there's a lot of issues there as well with the contracts, a lot of free agents.
Yeah,
Lindholm being one of them.
To your point, depending on if they are in this stage of 5th, 6th area, they definitely could trade Lindholm if they have an opportunity. Tanev. And definitely fall off and making my prediction bad. And but yeah, to your point there. And
basically that's my point there. I do believe they'll be better than last year.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be a tight race there, and I do think they'll be the first team that falls off.
So
the race for me.
Number 5 was about Calgary for me.
Yeah.
And I just believe that their team is too talented for this year. I'm not trying. I guess I should take into account the contracts because it could be trade deadline. Trade pieces, right? Because Craig Conroy did come out and say we don't want to have a Johnny Gaudreau situation.
Yeah.
And the only way they're gonna have that situation is if they're a top 2 team. I don't think that's it. But I do expect with the culture shift of Ryan Huska coming in instead of Daryl Sutter was there last year. It was like how people say they suck the blood out of the room type of thing. Whereas with this one, I'm just like, I believe in Jonathan Huberdeau. I believe in their defense is still elite.
Their defense is good.
I believe Markstrom will bounce back.
And if he doesn't, he can get replaced.
Yeah, Dustin Wolf is still there. You have
Dustin Wolf's coming up, right? He's
and Dan Vladar.
I think
is a decent backup.
I'm pretty sure Dustin Wolf was the best goalie in the AHL.
Yeah, but I'm saying for right now, Dan Vladar is a decent, capable of backup. I still believe in that defense. That's why I have him at 5. And
my number 5 is the Vancouver Canucks.
Okay, so you dropped them down lower. Not lower, but like there.
They were the same as last year, no? No, the Flames were 5th last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they moved up the standings for me from last year. PD is still an issue for me.
After what I said the beginning of the podcast.
PD is still an issue for me. Last time, remember when PD absolutely had that terrible year, the year before, past year? Same thing, contract issue.
But the difference was
and it wasn't solved.
The difference was it was solved, but he was not with the team.
Yeah.
This year, it's not solved. He's with the team still and could go out and try to be like, yo, you owe me money.
Yeah. So
type of thing.
But the thing with this is these guys like PD, Hughes, and Demko have to be on their elite level, right, at the same time for this team to have a chance. And I believe that will happen in a lot of spurts this year. They'll go on many runs like that, but they'll also go on many droughts where they might go on a cold stretch, where one of the 3 might go on a little bit of cold stretch there. But this team is a better team than last year, 100%. And I do believe they'll be ahead of the Flames.
So stick with so they're my 4. Let's just stick with the Canucks. Get my thoughts, 2-minute thoughts here. Yes, I do agree with you. I am excited for the year in a way. This year will definitely be low event hockey compared to Boudreaux fast event hockey.
High structure.
There's more structure. The question marks though. They obviously made the Sam Lafferty trade, which we talked about yesterday, slightly. But they added speed and size there. That's what they're looking for. But the question mark is for me, offensively, secondary scoring. So how much is PD and JT gonna carry that load?
Yeah, so
offensively,
that's the thing.
Kuzmenko, is he gonna be what he was last year, or is he gonna be dropped off, or even raise his ceiling?
Hey, if you do drop off, go back on the waffles, I guess. Right?
Yeah, but defensively, I expect him to be better, but the depth is such a question mark. And listen, I think, but how they're structured and how to play defensively with Sergei Gonchar, Adam Foote on the roster, Demko might not be injured, right? They don't need to. Demko does not need to rely too much. Now goalies could be random. Some goalies might need high volume stuff. Some goalies tend to be how Aiden Hill was, right? Good structure in front of him. Demko hopefully isn't that guy that needed 30,000 shots a game and then to be good, and then he's rusty when he's not getting them. But I don't believe that's the case, and I think healthy Thatcher Demko can take him to a 4th seed.
And
because I don't think PD will drop off much because he still hasn't had his contract.
I'm not expecting drop off. I'm just saying like all the teams are so good. I do believe they're gonna have a good year.
Big question mark is JT Miller.
Is JT Miller gonna be back as their secondary scoring, and they also have a capable backup now.
Casey DeSmith.
Casey DeSmith is a capable
backup.
So
that's why I have them in the 4th seed. I think they will be a much better team. And listen, yes, you could call me a homer, but Frank Saravelli, Greg Wyshynski, big time insiders. Again, they're predicting that the Canucks to be a better situation.
Yeah.
And to make the playoffs. And I even think Jeff Merrick and someone else they're said it too. So I think they're the 4th seed. You have Seattle. Talk about them.
I don't have Seattle 4th seed. I have the LA Kings at 4.
Oh shit! Okay, so you are high on Seattle.
I'm pretty high on Seattle because
I was debating even putting the Canucks at 3rd, but I have to give LA the respect. So talk about LA. We'll talk about LA now.
Yes, you added Pierre-Luc Dubois, but I just feel like you'll still be in the playoffs, in my opinion. But your goaltending is gonna be an issue where you might have a slight drop off.
I hate the word overrated, but Pierre-Luc Dubois is that like when the trade happened, we talked about it. And you guys want a reaction?
A lot of faith is in Pierre-Luc Dubois right now.
And because you gave up 3 solid pieces, right?
Yeah.
I think he's good. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think he's like the guy like how people make it out to be. Now I could be dead wrong, could completely be dead wrong, but yeah.
He's inconsistent, right? Like 1 year is good, next year he's bad, another year is good.
Listen, anything, and you also don't know wherever he's not happy, he wants out.
Yeah,
can happen in Columbus. That happened in Winnipeg. I get it; those are shitty markets. But now you kind of want to be. Even though, where did he say he wanted to be again? Montreal. But you're in a better situation.
You're in a way better situation than you were before, and I just feel like the goalie might just give him a little slight drop off.
Yeah, but Brian Clark right now in the minors could get called up and do his thing. Losing Sean Jersey could be big, but we'll see.
Doughty's still there.
Yeah,
at the end of the day,
but he's old. And you hate old people.
Edler as well.
No, he's not. He's a free agent.
Edler's free agent?
He only signed a 1-year deal.
Oh, okay, never mind. My number 3 team is the Seattle Kraken. I believe it's sustainable. Right? Okay. To the point that
so we're opposite on that end here.
Yeah, I do believe because at the end of the day, you're playing with good structure. Like everyone says, you have a bunch of all 4 lines are working. That's the benefit of having these guys because all 4 lines are good.
The biggest question mark is Jared McCann 40-goal season.
Yeah, who's going to take that step? I think Beniers will be there.
Yeah, for sure.
It's going to be Beniers and McCann for me. That should be leading this offense, but the thing is you're going to have contributors. I can't speak. Contributors from all 4 lines.
Yeah. Defense
is solid. I still trust in Grubauer as a goalie. He's a solid goalie. And you did take out Avalanche last year in the playoffs in the first round, so might just carry
you
over
locked up Vince Dunn. You have a good defense and Adam Larson and Jamie Alexiak, right? But I only reason why I'm slightly disappointed with this team is they did not make a move in the offseason to get even better.
I feel like if they were gonna make a move, it should have been for a forward.
Either way, they needed to make a move for me to put them over the top. I think it's not fully sustainable. I think the other teams around them are better. Got better as well. I feel like they stayed the same. That's all it is. Again, I will not. The difference from 3 to 6 could literally be like 3 points, 4 points. It could come down to tiebreakers. It could come down literally between 3 games. But yeah, you're high on them. That's good. We should go down to Calumet Pledge Arena now.
Yeah, I guess. All right, number 1 and 2. I feel like it's the same for both of us.
All right, who's your 2?
Oilers.
Vegas.
Okay, never mind. It's not the same. And Oilers. Again, solid team. Everything for me. Vegas is still the same team as last year, so they'll still
minus
be
Riley Smith, but
they're still the same. They'll be fine as long as injuries don't happen.
Vegas for me, I think they won the cup. They might have a little cup drought for a little how some teams have it. Hangover. Sorry. But again, I think they're still, even though it's a second toughest division, they're still so good that they'll comfortably be 1 and 2 battling with Edmonton. I just I ultimately give Edmonton the edge because they're the way they lost to Vegas, and that's probably, and they're in the same division. I think that will motivate them to be ahead of them and get the home ice overall in the playoffs. And then B, McJesus.
Yeah, McDavid there.
And Draisaitl. And then I expect Evan Bouchard to be better. Again, biggest question mark there is the goaltending. Whereas Vegas has 10 of them and they'll all be fine.
They'll all be fine, yeah. I just think Vegas still edges out. in my opinion. Like you said before, 1 and 2 are interchangeable.
Yeah, I think Edmonton is just more motivated to finish ahead of them.
This is like a flip a coin. You could still be right.
Edmonton 1 for me. Vegas 2, LA 3, Canucks 4, Calgary 5, Seattle 6, Anaheim 7, San Jose 8.
I got Vegas 1, Oilers 2, Kraken 3, Kings 4, Canucks 5, Flames 6, 7 Ducks, 8 Sharks, and
playoffs.
Yeah, well, wild card seeding, obviously Oilers, Kraken, my 2-3 matchup, Stars, Wild, the rematch from last year.
Yeah.
Here's first round. And who's your 1 seed?
Okay, so for me, the 2-3 was Colorado, Winnipeg.
Yeah.
And Vegas, LA. So those are going to play each other. My 1 seed was Edmonton. My 2 seed was Dallas.
Yeah.
Wild card 1 was the Canucks. Wild card 2 was the Minnesota Wild.
Yeah, so my 1 seed is Vegas. My 2 seed is Avalanche. For me, Avalanche face the Kings. Kings are my wild card 1. And Vegas faces the Canucks.
You still wanted to wild card 2.
I think 5 teams make it from the Pacific.
So for me, it's Dallas and the Canucks and Edmonton and Minnesota. In that sense.
Yeah.
So those are our standing predictions. We'll do anything. Hey, our Pacific was completely different.
It was different,
Yeah, like I think 1 through 6 was different.
1 is Vegas, 2
Edmonton,
2 Oilers, Vegas, 3
Seattle, LA,
4
Canucks,
LA Canucks, 5.
So it's for you, just Seattle shifted to 3.
Yeah,
because and then everybody got pushed 6, down. Yeah. I dropped Seattle to 6. Before we go to our cup prediction, any bold predictions individually? Do you think any on top of your head, any player standouts you have that you might like? You know what, this guy's gonna pop off and potentially can make a case for an MVP, for example, or like points. Like you expect this guy who had like least amount of points and will go crazy. Do you? One of my bold predictions could be Roman Josi could get 100 points this year and maybe get the Norris. I'm not saying he's my Norris prediction or anything, but he could get 100 points because he was close 2 years ago, as long as he's healthy. Do you have any?
If I were to pick a bold prediction
for a player standard, it's gonna be Trevor Zegras. Just absolutely going shots insane. Everybody up at the 5 mil.
He's just gonna go wild, right? Like it's not gonna be like, it won't be enough to be like, top 3 in my awards.
Yeah.
But like top 5 in some of these awards. And I feel like he might just pull out those what are those called? The Michigan goals.
Yeah.
Right from behind the net. And I just feel like Trevor Zegras is just gonna pop up like how Tage Thompson did last year. I feel like that will happen.
Yeah. I think defenseman scoring will go much higher now, knowing that that's the way to get a Norris apparently, which is gonna suck. Like I said, my point to that is that they should introduce an Art Ross for Norris. Art Ross for defenseman. like that's what I think. That's the only solve for me. But yeah, I think that's one of my bolder predictions. I think the defenseman scoring will go much higher again this year because of it. All right, Stanley Cup Finals. We're not gonna do a whole playoff thing here. There's no point.
Just
I got the Dallas Stars in the finals losing to the New Jersey Devils, where Jack Hughes will become my Conn Smythe winner. So Devils beat the Stars in the Stanley Cup Final.
I did not expect you to pick the Stars. Because I was picking the Stars.
You actually picked it?
The Dallas Stars are my Western Conference champions, facing off against my Eastern Conference champions.
It's the same.
The Carolina Hurricanes.
Oh, okay. I thought you went Devils. Okay.
It's the Carolina Hurricanes for me. And
I thought it was the other way. I expected you to pick the Devils.
Yeah.
And I thought you said Oilers.
Yeah, I changed it up a little bit.
Yeah.
When I was looking through this, and every time I change it up, I always get it wrong.
Yeah.
But I don't care, right? Stars versus Canes. I'm giving the edge to the Carolina Hurricanes, and Sebastian Aho is your Conn Smythe winner.
All right, lock that in. Again, don't blame us for betting on any of this.
Don't.
We're not condoning betting, and we're not telling you to bet for any of these teams.
Yeah.
But so far, this is our season predictions, the standing predictions. We talked about every team for at least 30 seconds. I think we did a good job there. To close off certain things. Oh, number 1 overall pick favorites. San Jose, Flyers, and those are the 1 and 2 for me. And then you could say Chicago or Anaheim.
I'm going with, if I'm going to give 4, it's Flyers, Sharks, Blackhawks, Canadians.
Okay. Anything else I'm missing here before we get to awards?
Before we get to awards, let's just do the head coach firings first as well.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that. Well, on the awards, I feel like I'll have more fun.
Head coach firing.
You already mentioned one, Craig Berube.
Yeah.
For the St. Louis Blues, which honestly 100% makes sense.
Okay, you have another one?
Me. I might go with the. I don't know. I don't know. I'll be honest.
Sheldon Keefe.
Yeah, Sheldon Keefe. Yeah. This is not like because regular season.
Even though he got an extension.
Yeah.
You can still get fired.
This is playoffs. This is just playoffs.
This is for playoff. Like, okay, in season is Berube. Like, hands down. I could see Berube getting fired. I could see, who's Islanders coach?
That's what I forgot who it was.
That's how you know they're mid. I think they had a new coach too. Is
it new?
Barry left. Remember?
Yeah, Barry left.
Islanders coach is Lane Lambert. Okay, they have Laviolette's new, so I'm not gonna say the Rangers. And another one I'm gonna throw out there, Jay Woodcroft. If Edmonton bounces out in this second round of the playoffs, he will be gone. Playoff wise,
second round, I'm not too sure. If his first round,
listen, right now it's Cup.
Yeah,
they're in Cup mode, and if he doesn't get to the Cup final, even Western Conference final, I'll give him a slight edge. But second round, I could see him leave. I could see him being gone.
Yeah.
Because the team is stacked. That team is stacked. At the end of the day, that Edmonton.
Did Gerard Glass still with the Rangers?
No, that's Peter Laviolette. Remember?
Yeah, so he was gone. But for me, sneaky one, Paul Maurice from the Panthers, just cause I don't know why.
Okay, that's
that
one's a little strange.
It's just weird. I just feel like Paul Maurice, is like one of those guys that usually doesn't do good his second year type of thing. I think this is like a bold prediction.
Okay.
Not even like it was so bold that like I'm not even convinced saying this.
Kind of like my Zach Taylor one.
Yeah, I'm not even convinced saying this basically.
Okay.
Like that, and so like I'm just gonna chuck in Paul Maurice, but this is not mid-season. It'll be end of year. If things go like if you know how you predicted if something goes haywire in Cincinnati like so bad, right? Zach Taylor could get fired, and that's my prediction for the Panthers.
Bold one would be Mike Sullivan then, for Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Because you made all those moves now, right? And it's you have a new guy in the Toronto guy that went there.
Oh, Dubas.
Oh, Ottawa. DJ Smith.
Oh yeah,
DJ Smith's the big one because
ownership's
different, and Pierre Dorion could be gone, which means a new that whole regime could change.
The whole regime.
That one could be an in-season firing if, especially with how high we're on them, doesn't work. But definitely off-season. This is like a test for Dorion and DJ Smith. But yeah, so in season, I think the favorite is Berube.
Yeah.
And probably DJ Smith. Off season, it's probably Jay Woodcroft for me. Bold prediction, Mike Sullivan. Bold prediction,
just Paul Maurice. Just something just chucking in there.
And then Sheldon Keefe. That's it.
Yeah.
I think we'll leave that there. Let's get to the awards to close off. I don't think I'm missing anything. Number one, we're done. Playoff teams, we're done. Final prediction.
Cup finals, yeah.
Yeah, it's just the awards. So let's go worst to best. Sticking with the coaches.
We have 8 awards here.
Yeah. So the 8 awards are Hart.
All of them.
Hart. Yeah, we're doing the major ones. So Hart, which is MVP.
Yeah.
Art Ross, points leader. Rocket Richard, goals leader. Norris, best defenseman. Selke, best two-way player. Vezina, best goalie. Jack Adams, best coach. Calder, rookie. Let's start with, since we were talking about coaches, go to the coaching. So 3-1. All right.
Jared Bednar is my 3 from the Colorado Avalanche.
For me, it's Rod Brindamore.
Okay, yeah.
Number 2 is where I get controversial.
Yeah.
Jay Woodcroft.
Okay.
It's a regular season award. It's a regular season award.
Yeah.
Actually, probably what Sheldon.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. You have Oilers winning the division.
Yeah.
For me, I went with Lindy Ruff from the Devils because my number 1 is Rod Brindamore, and I just feel like that battle between the Hurricanes and Devils for that division spot I feel like they might be the top 2 team in the NHL.
I had Lindy winning it.
Yeah.
I scratched him off.
Yeah.
I added Rod Brindamore to 3rd.
Yeah.
And Don Granato from Buffalo will be winning it for me.
Oh, so you're going with
I'm going with the guy that might not make the playoffs.
That step. Yeah.
Which is how some teams win it at the end of the day.
Some people win it like that.
And some other names I've seen out there were Rick Tocchet, because same thing with the Canucks. DJ Smith potentially. Those are some names there. But so I went Don Granato from Buffalo winning it. Jay Woodcroft and Rod Brindamore rounding out the
I went with Rod Brindamore. I'm projecting Carolina to be the best team in the regular season.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to give him that, I guess. Like how Bruins coach won it last year. I forgot his name already.
Yeah.
My coach's knowledge gone down a lot.
Yeah.
From the last couple of years here. But yeah, so Rod Brindamore is my winner.
Okay. Calder. I mean, very easy. Who's coming second and third?
All right, number 1, Bedard. We already know.
Very easy.
Number 2.
We could be wrong still.
Yeah.
Because, again, we're assuming health.
Yeah. Number 2 for me is Luke Hughes.
Oh, I went Logan Cooley.
I went Logan Cooley with 3.
I went Fantilli with 3.
Yeah, I just put Luke Hughes in there. Just because why not?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just who's coming second or third.
Yeah.
Right now. Like, literally, I think everyone...
For me, Logan Cooley's just lock in there. I had to put him in there.
Yeah.
So, but I just wanted to tuck in Luke Hughes as well, just because, rookies do good in good situations. He's in a good situation with the Devils.
Let's go to Selke, because I want to do the MVP for each position last. Like Hart, I mean, it's Hart's not really for forwards, but it usually is. So let's go Selke. I have Mitch Marner coming third, and the reason is their defense is so ass that he might have to carry the defense. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Number 2, I have Nico Hischier, because it's hard for me to judge Selke because a lot of it is advanced analytics, and I'm not a big advanced analytics guy, so I'm just going on what happened last year and how good the teams are going to be. And number 1, I alluded to it earlier, Alexander Barkov. I think he'll be a key factor.
I'll be honest with you, when I was making this list, I forgot about Barkov, so I got to do a quick audible right now. And
so what was your original?
Original, I had Lindholm in there as well.
Okay. So, I didn't want him in there because I don't think I have Calgary missing the playoffs.
But for me, I'm going to go with Barkov, number 1, obviously.
He jumped into 1.
I just jumped into 1.
Okay.
And my number 2, Nico Hischier.
Okay.
Number 3 is probably...
You're going to go Elias Pettersson here?
Is Elias Pettersson. I put Elias Pettersson here.
Okay.
He was top 10 last year, right? Or top 5?
He got votes. That's all.
He got votes, right? And how bad it was last year.
Depends on if he gets penalty killing minutes as well. Because we added in Teddy Bluger, Sam Lafferty,
and I think he should.
JT will probably be there.
He still should, right? Like,
who knows?
It's gonna help his game for sure if I do believe. But yeah, PD, just because why not?
All right, let's go to Rocket Richard next, and McDavid I have third. I think I won't be surprised if he's number 1. He proved it last year.
Yeah.
So, but I think Matthews will bounce back this year, and he'll be my number 2.
You're number 2.
And my number 1 is David Pastrnak, because who the hell is going to score goals there?
All right, I went very bold.
Yeah.
Where I'm projecting with David 5 and Pastrnak 4.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I just went with... Like you said, vibes.
Huh?
I just went with vibes, right?
So who's gonna crank out goals?
Who's gonna crank?
Alexander Ovechkin is getting 100 goals this year.
I feel like someone's just gonna pop off, crank out goals, which is my new.
Kind of like Chris Kreider.
Yeah, when you asked me for bold predictions.
Yeah.
This is the one I was saving for.
Okay.
Matthews at 3, obviously.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Hoping for a bounce back.
And then these next 2 are a little bit bolder.
Sure.
Mikko Rantanen at 2.
That's not as bold.
That's not as bold, but this one's bold because he is my Rocket Richard winner. Popped off last year. And I believe he'll do it again this year. Jason Robertson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not bad.
The bold part is leaving Pastrnak off the list for me.
Yeah. Pastrnak, I think who's scoring goals.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Who's scoring goals on that team?
Yeah.
That's the reason why.
That's the reason why I put Rantanen in as well.
Yeah.
For Colorado.
So
I feel like without Landeskog, he's gonna have to up his goal scoring.
Okay. So I have Pastrnak winning, Matthews second, McDavid third, and you're once again
Robertson winning, Rantanen second, Matthews third.
Okay. Like that, let's just go to...
I'm just going to make it 5. Pastrnak 4. David 5.
All right, let's go to Art Ross then, sticking with the most points. I think who's number 2 and 3 is the case.
I mean,
don't tell me you're not putting David number 1.
I have to, right?
Oh, yeah.
I have to.
Okay, let's go forward. McDavid 1.
Yeah.
Draisaitl 2. I have Robertson 3.
I have McKinnon 2, Draisaitl 3.
Yeah. I was debating McKinnon, but I think he'll be 4.
I want
He's
obvious,
4.
Yeah.
That's my 4. But Robertson, I agreed with you in the goals, but I think he'll get assists as well to round it out. Okay, so that leaves Vezina,
Norris, and Hart. Let's go with the Vezina.
Okay, so
first.
I went. Okay, I had Demko 3. I scratched it out.
Yeah.
So I went Igor Shesterkin.
Okay.
Number 2, this is where my Dallas pick comes in, Jake Ottinger.
Yeah.
And number 1, this is where my Winnipeg pick comes in, Connor Hellebuck.
Okay. My number 3 is Thatcher Demko.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a shout, right?
Yeah, it is. No, it's deserved.
There's not like
people have him winning it for a reason.
This is one of the I'm more confident this than PD being third in Selke for sure, and I'm more confident Demko winning it than PD winning Selke as well. Number 2, Ilya Sorokin. If these Islanders are good, he's gonna be the main reason why.
True.
Him and Barzal. And number 1, Jake Ottinger. Feel like he'll have a good, consistent year this year, and it's year 3 for him now, I believe.
Yeah.
So yeah, these young guys usually do good in year 3.
Yeah.
So I'm projecting Jake Ottinger to win.
So I have Hellebuck winning, Ottinger 2, Shesterkin 3.
I have Ottinger, Sorokin, and Demko.
Okay. Let's go to Norris. Again, I had Hughes written here, crossed it out. I actually went a little bit bold with my number 1 is not bold, but I scratched his name out, but I put it back in. Was Miro Heiskanen. I had him 2, but I moved him to 3. I had Hughes at 3, took him off. No, I want to test something. I'm like, am I really a jinx here for this? But Miro Heiskanen 3, Rasmus Dahlin is number 2 because that's one way Buffalo will make the playoffs. In my opinion, number 1 is Cale Makar because someone has to carry from the back end and for them to do well.
I feel like my list is pretty obvious ones, except maybe a little bit changed. Number 3, Adam Fox, right? Number 2 for me, I'm projecting Dallas to be really good, so Heiskanen's going to be a really big piece of that. And then number 1, Cale Makar, no surprises there as well. Okay,
which leaves MVP, and we already know what number 1 is, but
both of ours number 1's McDavid.
Number 1's McDavid, but 2 and 3, I'm intrigued to hear this. Number 3,
there's a lot of choices for me.
There was a lot of choices, but I ultimately came down to number 3 being Jason Robertson, and number 2 Nathan McKinnon.
Yeah, for me, Robertson misses out at 4.
Okay.
I went with McKinnon at 3, and Matthew Tkachuk at 2.
Okay, I was considering him too.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean McDavid has to be number 1. Like, why wouldn't you? I think McKinnon to carry Colorado into the playoffs now because he doesn't have the
thing for me is like Tkachuk doesn't really have a duel, so that's why I feel like they'll kind of like up his votes a little bit. Whereas McKinnon has Rantanen as well, so that's why I gave the edge to Tkachuk.
Yeah. But yeah, so McDavid 1, McKinnon 2, Robertson 3. Robertson makes sense, but yeah.
Yeah, Robertson makes sense too.
That's it. We got the Hart, Ross, Rocket, okay.
Yeah, we got all the awards.
We got all the awards. We predicted the NFL or NHL season. Pick who's NHL. If you're watching this, I don't know if it's Batman, Daily, whoever. Pick whose script you like.
Whose script is better?
All right. Comment down below if you like my predictions. Comment down below if you like Jobin's predictions.
Comment down below your
own predictions.
If you want to we'll make it a little bit shorter. If you guys want to do the whole thing. But just keep it simple. Winner. Cup final, cup winner.
A YouTube poll should be out.
Yeah.
Already.
And then just say your leading points, your Hart favorite, and your leading goal scorer.
With that being said, though, just a reminder: make sure you guys check out part 1 of this podcast, which was filmed yesterday.
Dropped yesterday,
filmed 2 days before, but dropped yesterday, where we talk about everything but the NHL pretty much. Check out the NHL tier list. Again, disclosure, this predictions is we're predicting end of the season. Tier list is what we think before the season, how teams are ranked.
What is the team status right now?
Team status at this moment, essentially. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Hope you guys enjoyed the NHL season. With that being said, like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Peace.